everyone. Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. Thank you very much. Straight ahead. All right, my name is Nothin. I was telling the doctors at the hospital, I was like, I'm the ex-wife. I'm like the rash that never goes away. I love it, you know. A rash can be a good thing because one of the things I learned in acupuncture is that because it shows you where the problem is. So when the doctors give you salve to make it go away, the importance it was not. He walked in so many different lanes, so many different people, different colors, different religions, different political views, different ideologies, but with the same heart. And that was one of the very, 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 very special things about him. So let me say that. But anyway, I wanted to do a song because about a week in Mutulu's transition, maybe a few days after his mom passed, I called him one day, Mike, and asked Mike, I woke up and this song was in my heart. And so I was singing it in my yard. I live in more of a country setting. I'm in Texas, so I'm around. I got horses all around me and an empty pond, a dry pond now, but I live more in nature. And so I'm singing this song, walking around the yard, and when I came back in, I thought, let me call Mike and let me sing this song to him too. So I did. And later on that day, his sister called me. Come to find out, that was one of his mother's signature songs. And so it was if she sang to him because she had just died a few days ago. So I'm so grateful. You know, that's what happens when you allow the Spirit to move you. And that one of the reasons I love Mutulu, what drew me to him, what hooked me in was that he taught me about the theory of yin and yang and the 5 elements. It changed my entire life. I could put everything fits into that scenario. It's a spiritual journey, so I'm grateful for that. That's really how I got what connected me. It wasn't the fact that he was fly as hell and, a Leo man. It was the fact that he gave me books to read. We had deep conversations. He trusted me. He cried with me. Mutulu cried a lot. He could be vulnerable with me, and I'm grateful to have been of service to him in his service to mankind. Actually, I'm a founding member also of the Black Acupuncture Advisory Association, something I had just heard about, even become acquainted with acupuncture 6 months to a year earlier, and ended up playing a very pivotal role in the development of that organization. Just volunteering, like I said, Mutulu open, and he was that way. This experience is not unique to me. Let me just say that. And that's one of the things that we love about him the most, and it's in our celebration today. So I want to do this, and there are people whose names I haven't been hearing, but I'm hearing them, and so I want to say their names. I wish we was pouring libations, but let me say first and foremost, Jonathan Lubell. Jonathan Lubell. Yes. Mary O'Melveny. Barbara Zeller. Alan Berkman. Michael Tarif Warren. Jesse Berman. Ashante Chimaranga. Kathleen Cleaver. Joan Gibbs. Lennox Hines. Chokwe Lumumba. Deirdre Davis McEachran. Gilda Sharad Ali. Roger Wareham. Evelyn Williams. Cynthia McKinney. Sonia Sanchez. Now these are not people that I all know, but in speaking to people around, people that knew and loved Mutulu, or names, like I said, I haven't been here, and I just didn't want them to be left out, because the beautiful thing about there were so many people that loved Mutulu, and so many different types of us, and that is his beauty. He was definitely a student. Do you understand? People talk that shit, but they don't always. He walked that walk. And for that, we honor him, we love him, and he's walking with us today. So I'm not going to say I miss him, because I know that he's able to do more from where he is, because he's not confined by his body, by a body anymore. So here we go. Y'all. Yeah, help me, children. Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I I see the stars, and I hear the rolling thunder. Your power throughout the universe is displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior Jah, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Thank everybody for coming out to the West Coast leg of Dr. Mutulu Shakur's memorial. That's how much of an impact he has made. No doubt. I want to thank Stephanie, Talia, Tracy, Josh, and Baby G for this afternoon, for hooking this up, helping us get here today. Yeah. I want to thank the bigs, Big Mike, Big Duke. Let me say it again. Big Mike, and Big Duke. Zaid and Dr. Tatsu. These brothers was in the trenches with us as far as support, keeping Mutulu on his meetings and appointments, because there was quite a few. From Lena Miller, Melina, Mayor Bass, Mikey the mayor, him and his wife, my friends from Malibu. Thank all of you for helping me welcome Mutulu back to the community. You made it easy, you made it smooth. He loved hanging out in Leimert Park. Every time I turn around, where Mutulu? He in Leimert Park, he getting some oxtail. Okay. Yeah, so he was honestly loving the community, loving it out here, because he would tell you quickly, I'm a New York guy. I'm a New York guy. He was a New York guy, but he loved it here. And I wanted to just thank y'all, man. I appreciate it. And we miss him, we love him, and we're going to keep it pushing straight ahead. Mud and water, you know what I mean? Power to the people, free the land. All that. In the back of Doritos. Love.
Yeah.
Peace, everybody. I say again, peace, everybody. I stand here today, the proud daughter of Afeni and Mutulu Shakur, sister of Tupac. Also, we are all standing here representing the brothers that's not available to come today. Aize, Chinua, and Talib. Thank you all for loving my father for all of these years. I thank you all for loving my father for all of these years. I spent 5 years with him free before these 6 months that he came out. In 45 years of my life, he was either a fugitive or incarcerated. I come from what anybody will call a broken family. What cannot be broken is the power of love.
Right.
The promise of power.
You got this.
Yeah, I do. Thank you, Uncle. I wanted to spend some time to speak about my father as a human being, as a father. I hope I can do that. When my father left, I was a princess in Harlem. I was Mutulu's daughter. Couldn't walk down the street without people stopping me saying, "You must be Mutulu's daughter." Then he left. And life changed for so many people. My life changed. What I was able to expect from the world changed. He was arrested when I was 10. And sad to say, weird to say, but I was so happy that he was arrested because for the 5 years he was gone, I thought he was dead. So grateful that he was arrested, so I could get to hug my father again. My brother, Tupac, and I spent the rest of our years living in object, I know it's abject, but I call it object poverty because we had no objects. We grew up in object poverty. My mother spent her underground years in the slums of America in order to hide out. Although we had nothing to eat, nothing to sleep on, nothing to do, we still had our pride and our name and the promise that one day our father would be home and the land would be free. It still isn't. There's babies today still dying by the hands of our oppressors or oppressors. Our communities are not unified. We are not taking care of our children. We have not fulfilled the promise that my father left me for, that my brother died for. He spent 45 years of my life in prison or away. And his mission has to be more than just an organization's name, a phrase, or a gathering. The mission of the Shakur family is loving our people by any means necessary.
That's right.
By any means necessary, we have to be in action, in the duty, in the being of loving our people, and protecting our people. Even when they look ugly, if they're acting ugly, we have to stand for one another. My father once told me when I went to visit him in my 20s and feeling awkward, didn't fit in anywhere, he said, "We are all freaks. Shakurs, we're freaks. We're freaks by nature." In all the senses of the word. But he said we're freaks by nature. But our passion exudes out of our skin. People feel, they smell our passion. And our duty is to love our people by any means necessary. We've had the memorial in Atlanta with most of our revolutionary African people. We have this memorial here in California with all the fancy LA people. We're gonna have our memorial in New York with the groovy people. We're gonna have, my grandmother and my father will have a joint memorial on Sunday in Virginia, in the church with all the Christian people. The spread of the Shakur family is vast, but we have to make a difference everywhere we go. Everywhere we go has to be stamped with the love that I lost my brother, my mother, and my father. But he also said, we made of mud and water, we alligators. We are meant to survive.
Right.
We will definitely survive this. I just want us to survive and be able to celebrate freely and truly in our guts and in our hearts, and not continuously looking over our back for hoping that our next loved one doesn't come in on a stretcher or in a casket, but we can all come and laugh and dance. And no, there's no more babies that's going hungry. children that's being killed and women that's being killed, and abuse and drugs and da 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 da. Let's do our best to fiercely stop what's going on in our community. Because I can't be rich if my people are still struggling and suffering and living in abject poverty. Peace. Ashe, straight ahead, free to land.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quick because I wasn't gonna speak, but in the same vein as my sister, I always say this story about Mutulu. I was born in '81, so he went to prison very shortly after I was born. He's been in prison. Banner baby, the last banner baby, most of my life, and I'm 42 today. And in 42 years, and remember Mutulu spent probably a collective third of that time in the hole. He hasn't missed one birthday in 42 years. It might have been some random brother I didn't know calling to tell me and saying your dad says happy birthday. In 42 years, Mutulu never missed one motherfucking birthday. And that is a testament to his love of his family, a testament to his love of his purpose, and a testament to his love of you guys. And I truly believe it was the love that you guys have for him as well that allowed him to pour that love back into us as a family. So I also thank you all for the love and respect that you showed him. Mud and water, y'all.
Mud and water.
I'm Cheyenne. Mutulu was my grandfather. The very first time that I remember meeting my grandfather, I was in Kentucky, and he was still in prison at the time, and I met him in the hospital, and I was with my Auntie Z, and it was a really touching moment, and he looked very, very sick and ill, and most of us thought that might be, the last moment that we had with him. And then about a year or so later, he gets released from prison, and I meet him again at our home, and I give him a hug, and he does not remember anything of Kentucky because he was very, very ill. And then he started crying, and I started crying, and we shared a beautiful hug. And it was really, really touching. And that moment lives in my heart forever. So my grandfather and I, we connected a lot because we're both healers. I'm a hypnotherapist. We practice acupuncture. I work in a treatment center, as did he. So we always connected over that, and I love him very much. So thank you all for being here, and to Mutulu Shakur.
All right, y'all, give that baby a round of applause. Okay, now I am going to ask Dr. Tatsu Hirano. I'm not sure if Leo's here. Is Leo Sullivan here?
I am because of Dr.
And Zaid, I think she's going to say something.
He was my first acupuncture teacher. And it's kind of funny because as that started out, I ended up being his personal physician at the end. If you were to see his video of him exiting this private jet, and he was all bent over, in the end, he was straight up. Shabaka. Anyway, this was an amazing time for us to connect in this way, in this meaningful way. They gave him a death sentence, and I was out to try to reverse it, but it took its course. I have a poem to read. It's called Straight Ahead. 37 years of cement and tears, bulls towering over you, couldn't overtake you, couldn't make you fear. Straight ahead. Death sentence without lethal means, freedom imprisoned by cancerous gleams, for time then defined by inglorious dreams. Straight ahead. And now, could this be more than ever, where all the family should come together? Must every brother and sister everywhere, can they feel this time? Is it something you can bear? Straight ahead. And common blood flows into one mighty sea, where everyone can gather, everyone be seen. And the collective eye all sees not one thing. Straight ahead. July 7th, 2023, 7:40 hits world chime, surrounded by ancestors from beginning of time. Preparations, purifications to yet another paradigm. My brother, straight ahead one last time. Thank you.
It's Baba Tasu, y'all. The only Asian motherfucker I'll call Baba. Oh, God. Hey, so, man, I can't say enough about Baba Mutulu, man. You know, I feel like when he was in jail, he was like my elder, but when he got out, he became my homeboy, you feel me? He was like my best friend, real talk. Like, I could talk to him about anything, and he even tried to mediate situations with me and my ex-wife, you know what I mean? And he was just there for me like more than any elder. I'll say this, he was like the best elder, everything you expect an elder to be, you know what I mean? It was almost like his elderhood was preserved when he was in jail, you feel me? So that just meant so much to me, and I miss him so much, and I reflect on him a lot, and what gives me peace is the fact that he didn't die in jail, you feel me? And so when I think about that, that really makes me happy, because, you know, I just feel so blessed to be able to spend so much time with him, to ride out with him, you know what I mean? You know, we went to the beach together, we just ride out, you know what I mean? And that was just so special to me, like our long rides. Sometimes we would talk, we would just have hard-ass conversations, and I would just put so much on him, like, and you know, I wouldn't feel bad about putting so much on him, because he used to tell me, I ain't got nothing to think about, tell me some shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I need some shit, give me something to think about. And so I was like, fuck it, because for the longest I was holding all the bullshit, all the drama in myself, because I was like, man, he just got out, he got cancer, you know what I mean? I don't want to put too much on you, Baba. But when he told me that, I just hit him with it all. So I didn't feel too bad about it. And so, you know, I just appreciate him just for being so willing to be an elder, you know what I mean? In every sense of the word. One of the main things he used to tell me was to stay out my own way. One of the principles he used to live by was this principle called Hakaru, which means no challenge, no resistance. You know what I mean? He used to tell me all the time, you know, let these women have their way, man. Don't be arguing with them. Let them have their way, you feel me? Hakaru, you know what I'm saying? He was just the coolest nigga fucking ever. I remember I used to walk in, and I'd be like, nigga, get your weak ass up, stand the fuck up, man. What you doing, man? And I should see him just, you know, pout up, because he was such a proud nigga, man. He was a king in every sense of the word. Like, truly, like, he was proud, and he was a Leo. He was just a very proud dude, and I appreciate that about him, because, man, I just learned so much from him in just 7 months of being with him and just riding with him. And so, you know, I just remember just wanting to, you know, get over there as much as I possibly could, just to spend a little bit of time with him, because he was away for so long. And I remember when people was telling me he was about to die when he was in jail, I would get mad at motherfuckers like, nah, man, why is y'all niggas giving up so quick? I mean, shit, he been in there for 38 years already. Why is we stopping now? Why are we gonna give up now? You know what I mean? So, I appreciate all y'all's prayers. You know, my prayers, everybody's prayers to keep him strong, because I really do believe that they worked, you know what I mean? And we got him home. So in that sense, I feel like
It was addictive.
showed Mutulu such tenderness. It overwhelmed me. The way that he was with him and those moments that he spent with him was so very tender. And some of you don't know, all of that bravado, Mutulu was tender. He was tender. Just so you know.
Thank you for that, Auntie. So right now, I'm gonna bring Mayor Karen Bass to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm grateful to be here today, and I'm grateful to have known Dr. Shakur, as he is to me, for a very brief time. Although I felt like I knew him very much through Melina, who brought him to my attention, as well as other activists, and understand what his history and legacy was. And I was in Congress at the time, and we were really worried, especially when COVID hit. Really worried, understanding what condition he was in. And it was a long, hard fight. We didn't know if we would actually be able to get him out. But, you know, talking to them and explaining to them, you know, somebody is, you know that they're at the end of your life. He served decades. Couldn't he at least get out to be with his family and to be free in the last stages of his life? And I'm just grateful. It took a change. It took a change in leadership at the top of the Bureau of Prisons. But I'm just glad that he was able to get out, that he was able to spend the last months of his life in freedom with his family. And to me, that's exactly the way it should be. You know, there was once upon a time in our society where if, you know, you did your time, you paid your debt to society, then you were able to be reintegrated back in. That we don't have that time anymore. You're just punished forever. And I'm glad that he was able to be back. And I just could stop by for a minute, but I did just want to come and give my regards especially to his family, and say, may he rest in power. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Bass. Okay, he's coming back, y'all. It's a brother's word. Watani Tahima.
Like Mutulu said, stay ahead, free land, by any means necessary. My brother by another mother. Right. Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. See how you be start talking and people say, oh yeah, I want to be in there too. Yeah. So Mutulu and I met in 1973. Mama de Lumumba brought him to the Hodari Umoja Center on 46th and Central Avenue, where I was running the martial arts program, teaching Kubigana and Gumi, the New African Combat System. And I invited him to the floor. Yeah, brother got some skills, you know what I'm saying? And so from that point on, we began to just click. We agreed around our right to self-defense, training other people to do that, organizing for the release of our political prisoners, prisoners of war, and the return of our exiles. And so that became our work and our mission. And we began to continue that work. Afeni, Yasmin Fula, and Mutulu started a national task force for COINTELPRO litigation and research, and Mutulu asked me to represent Southern California, specifically around Geronimo Jijaga. And that put me in contact with so many people. And as the stories go, as you know, Gregory Cross, where's Gregory?
Right here.
Over there. That was my barber when I was in prison. Okay, I'm just Then he went and met Mutulu in Victorville. So yeah, which comes full circle, big dude. So Mutulu would try to get all of us to get together. You know, he was that kind of person that they already talked about. He could cross all kind of circles. He,
Hobart Club.
all the people that I didn't deal with before. We called it organizing with the masses, right? So we would get our party on anytime we could, but we'd also do our political work. And I think that's what's important, because our people come from many different facets in life. Mutulu recognized that. I want us to recognize that, and let's uplift that brother. Let's continue his legacy. His name will never die, and he will never die, because we're going to keep his name on the forefront of our mouths. We're going to keep his image out there. There's no way around that. If you talked about a healer,
look for Mutulu. A revolutionary nationalist, that's Mutulu. Anti-imperialist, Mutulu. Social, all the things you can think about. I heard people say earlier, he didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. He was that guy. He was him. Such where your father was him. That's him. That's our guy. He was everybody's
Before we
brother.
get to the meeting, you know what we have? An acupuncture circle. We have Reiki. We have massage therapy. As we come off of front lines, we have talk therapy. We deal with each other's traumas. We try to build a movement that, again, is restorative, not depleting. And so, as we did work that was based on faith, but a faith of things unseen, to try to get Baba Mutulu free, because we knew he had the right to be free and we had a sacred duty to get him free. We were deeply invested in it, but we didn't know what the system might do. So when he came home, it meant everything. It meant everything to get a call from Brother Zaid. Hey, are you at home? Remember that? I said, yeah, I'm home. And 10 minutes later, I thought Baba Mutulu was like gonna be all weak and decrepit. And all of y'all came that first visit, he was bounding up the walkway. And I was like, oh, he's gonna live forever. He's gonna live forever. And he used to like to roll up on us. I think at least 3 or 4 times, Zaid would call and go, where you at? He rolled up on me at a nail appointment. Rolled up on us at a Black Lives Matter meeting. And he just used to like to roll up. But I want to just leave with a couple of the teachings. And I heard you, sis, say, the movement has to honor him by our work. And I want to pledge that we will honor him by our work. Every Wednesday we're out protesting, but every single day we are working for the freedom of our people.
Yeah. The home of the Max and Yola. Old schools hitting corners. Golden State Warriors. Yeah. City of dope, gold toners. New schools, bending corners. Oakland Athletics hitting donuts. Homie Huey Newton, Black Panthers. Tupac the Loonies, Felix Mitchell. Digital Underground, Little D. Mutulu Shakur, Mo Preen, Too Short, E40, Afeni, in 2D, Bruce Lee, Bigger Figure, Rich, the mechanic drew down my nigga. C-No, Overdose, Tony, Eclipse, Mac Dre, Biz, Burning, Mac Mo.